All right, back out here Monday morning. This is all cured pretty good. The guys are out here. We're weed eating all the fences, and then we're spraying at the fences, and we're getting all this. Just try and get the job site a little cleaner. So what we do first, whenever you're building with ICF, is you set all your corners. There's a short side and a long side. There's your corner, right? So you're supposed to do short to long. So whatever the other end of the wall would be, one side short, other side long, and then when you come up with the next row, you flip it so it goes over and gives it strength. So we're laying these out, and when I come into my little curved areas here, I do a corner, we end up having to cut it, but that's fine. The hardest thing is going to be getting this first course in and level how we want. Then we can roll on from there pretty fast. Going around setting out all the corners. They come in bags of 6, you see that right there. So once you open them up, you fold them out, and then there's a little piece there you just put on for the web that slides in. So I'm going to set them everywhere they need to go in advance. That way I can come in here in a little bit and set which side they're facing, because on the inside edge I'm going to need to cut a little bit to clear the floor system. And so I want to get all those set and done. All right, so now it's time to mark where they are. So I'm going to take this little blue marker, and I'm starting with A, and then I write an A on the corresponding on the floor. That way, in case I take these further away to cut them or something, then I'm able to come back and know exactly where, not only where they go, but which side was facing in, so I cut the correct spot. Those pickets that I'm walking by, if you remember from when we did the basement, those were our little straps that we used to cross between anywhere that needed some extra support, like the common seams or the doors or windows. So we've got them facing straight up and down, because once we set the laser, we will take, and whatever the highest corner is on the whole house, we'll set all the corners to that height, and so then we can go on the back side through the pickets and screw them in place so that they're level and plumb, and all of them are set to the same elevation, and then we'll be able to build the in-between pieces and also tie those down so that everything, it's kind of like a reset. Everything is like we're starting over is what we're doing. On a simpler house, we would just snap into the lower level and keep going, but nothing simple about this one. So this is how we're going to handle this and just get us ready. Like I said, the 8-foot pieces, the straights, we'll put those in between and get one level down and go ahead and start marking where our windows and doors and all that are, so that we'll be ready to go with that as well. So all those are set up. We've got 27 90-degree corners, counting everything. I'm gonna set out the 45s. All right, so right here, these are the 45s, known in the engineering world as 135s. Hey, a little tight. One hand is a little harder. So just like the 90-degree corners, you got a piece you got to put in yourself. And what did I just do? Do y'all recognize what I did wrong? These are the 8-inch 45s. So I gotta go find my 6-inch. All right, so these are the 6-inch 45s. Same little web like the 90s use. And there you go. So got a few of these to put out, especially at the master. So I'll show you that. We have quite a lot of 45s, but most of them are here at this little bay window deal. It'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 just to do it. And then once we start in on the back of the house, this is 45. So 45 there, and the other end. So we got 3 more there, and one in that corner that leads to the stairwell. I think that's it. We had more, but now that some things are different from the basement, it alleviated some of that. So I already put one over there. All right, so I've decided to come up 2.5 inches anywhere on the inside. That'll clear my pan where we're going to tie it in to the concrete and everything. It'll be supported on the outside with these pickets. So let's get the cutting nose. So you cut that out. That's what you end up with. This type of deal doesn't have to be exactly perfect, because the outside and where we're going to foam it all down is what matters. The first lift that I do, the first part of the pour, we'll pour it pretty hot so it'll cure up a little faster, and we'll just do, these are 18 inches tall, so we'll probably only do 6 to 9 inches around the entire perimeter. Let that start sealing up and setting up a little bit, and then we'll do the rest of our lift when we pour the wall. So this just has to be rough to clear my little edges here. All right, I started setting these with the beep beep yesterday. Got that going so that all these will be the same elevation. We run some spray foam at the bottom, lock them in, and we got them where we want them. So I'll finish doing that. That's what I'm gonna work on next couple hours. Get all these corners set, and we'll go around. This stuff breaks off easy. The extra does. So get all the corners set. Once they're set, I'm also going around with spray paint and putting some paint on a little dot, like the white's for a door, yellow is going to be for windows, so that I can just do a quick glance and say, okay, this is about where I want my common seam to end up, so we're not wasting time and block. All right, so most of the corners are set. The ones on the back, not over there because I'm able to sit on the porch, but those few over there and a couple over there where I'd have to be on the ladder, I didn't do yet because I'll have these readings to go off of. So when I get over there, I'll have someone else I can work with and we'll figure it out. So I've set these. And just like when I started on the basement to begin with, I'm going to build this room first. So I've gone through, and where this yellow paint is, that represents a window's going here. And it's marked right there. So just barely makes it, you see there. And this side will be cut. So if you remember from when we were doing the initial building and we talked about common seams, it's because if you take these and, okay, here's your 8-foot piece, here's an 8-foot piece, then you're going to have this gap left. If it's not the same equal distance as these, basically broken up in 8 inches, then you're going to end up with a common seam. There's reasons for that. I've gone into it before, happy to talk about it in the future, but for right now, it just ends up being a spot where you've foamed all the way up and you've got a common seam. Now, in the basement, we didn't have a lot of windows to help us out, but up here we do. So we want those common seams to land where windows are, so that there's not really, I'll have this first one here, I'll have a block I'll have to cut for that, but then when I come through here, our windows start 24 inches off the finished floor, which is roughly 28 inches. So I'll have to set a pin for that, so I know exactly what that height is, and then I'll have to go around. So you usually want to do 2 rows and then double check everything, just etc. And then once you get to 3 or 4 rows, when you put up your scaffolding, and which is also your bracing. There's no step footings to deal with up here, so we'll be able to just run, which will be light years better. So happy about that.